Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we continue on the chase towards the chase for the championship here in Season 3 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. Getting ready for race number 16 at the Monster Mile, the concrete Dover International Speedway, for 60 laps of racing. Last year, this was home to a first-time winner in J Gardner. Will it play host to another first-time winner, or J Gardner, can he double down here today at the home of the crab cakes? On the front row, it's a couple of Chevrolet Camaros. V Almariego, one of the drivers that has yet to go to victory lane. He and A Garcia, we're still waiting to see if they can capture their first wins. Got good starting track position here today as he'll roll off alongside of A LaPlante, who is also looking for his first win on the season, not of his career. Both of these drivers come into this race in pretty hairy situations in the points as well. Almariego is right on the cut line, 30th in the standings. A LaPlante, a little bit better, 23rd in the points coming to this race, but both drivers really could use good performances here today and could really use a victory to put themselves up potentially into the playoff conversation. Behind them, though, you've got nothing but race winners for the next two rows. J Qualls, the Pucaco winner, K Friesen, the Atlanta winner, R Brommer, the Texas winner, and N Ormond, the Bristol winner. All of them trying to become a two-time winner with Dylan Young to pretty much confirm themselves a spot in the playoffs this season. Let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports as we get ready to roll at Dover.
Drivers, start your engines.
Command is given, and the cars will roll off. You can look down in the description below for today's starting lineup. Point standings coming into this race. Benny Watson, 13 points over William Brock after last week at the Pensacola Road Course. Jack Mitchell currently sits in third. Jose Mills, after his victory last week, he's now up to fourth. And Cody Llamas currently sits in fifth. Zach Rogers, rookie points leader Patrick Smith, Levi McIntyre, Cole Deaver, and two-time winner Dylan Young will complete your top 10. Out of those drivers in the top 10, I believe it's 6 of them are former winners this season. The other former winners, K Friesen currently is 12th in the standings, R Brommer 13th, N Hudson now up to 17th, J Qualls in 19th. And the drivers that come into this race with wins that are outside the top 30 in points, 4 of them in total. J Sandfer 32nd, N Ormond 33rd, J Thibodeaux 36th, and Carson Gum in 38th. We'll see if they can maybe bounce back here today at the Dover International Speedway. 60 laps on tap. Getting ready to go racing here. We'll see what type of a race we're in for at the Monster Mile. Is Miles hungry, or will we get through this entire event without a caution? Almariego and LaPlante lead them down. Green flags in the air. Let's roll at Dover. And I just realized I don't have the volume set correctly. Hold on. Time out, time out, time out, time out. Don't wreck before I come back. I can't even get it on 5. There we go. We're back. That was very unprofessional, but I realized I had my volume setting down to what I normally do when I race online. As further back, almost a wreck there. Jordan Lopez almost lost it off of turn 4 as LaPlante to the lead. Friesen to second, Qualls into third, then it's Brommer and Ormond. Battle up front's going to be for second place. Qualls sticks it to the bottom, made a little contact perhaps there, moving Friesen up the track as he'll try and take the runner-up position off of 4. So far this season, 2 drivers out of Northeast Motorsports have gone to victory lane, both of them rookies. Hudson at Michigan and Thibodeaux at Las Vegas. LaPlante trying to be the third out of that team to go to victory lane, but he's got J Qualls all over his back bumper, and now to the inside going into turn 1. Battle going on for 4th further back as N Ormond makes his way around R Brommer. J Shelton and Benny Watson, the points leader in that mix. Qualls will clear for the lead. Brommer gets by Watson. That is going to be for the 5th position. Shelton now battling with Watson for 6th. And she will take the spot. Almariego, the pole sitter, dropped back to the 8th position. And then you got this pretty good battle here from 9th on back. 2-time winner Dylan Young. Rookie Cole Deaver, Cole Baker as well in that mix. And they are 3 wide back here. That's Ryan Acosta in the middle, Sandfer on the bottom, Mitchell Collins up topside. They're 3 wide even further back as well. This is a gaggle of cars. Look at Nathan Hudson and Matthew Rodriguez in the middle. You got last week's winner, Jose Mills, right there. Cody Llamas, our winner from Fuel Motorsports Park, is in this mix. That's Aaron Macklin, the 93, way up topside as he loses a number of positions. And I believe Jose Mills started this race from the 39th position. He's already up to 24th. It's a nice job there. And there's last week's runner-up to him, Ryan Butcher. He's now up to around the 27th position. As Thibodeaux gets kicked way up to the top side. Zach Rogers charging up the middle. Little contact there with Ryan Butcher. Keep it together for the moment. Rogers, after his victory earlier on in the season at the Springfield Mile, his finish has kind of tapered off. He was starting to drop outside of the top 10. Now he's starting to resurge again and move his way back up through the standings. There's last year's winner, J Gardner, battling with our Darlington winner, Jack Mitchell. That is, I believe, for the 12th position, and he will take it. We had a wreck. Do we have a caution? We have no caution, but somebody spun up into the wall there through 1 and 2. But no yellow flag. And it was J Qualls in the 54. He's on pit road. No yellow, though. And now we've got a caution. They're wrecking further up. That's Gardner. Charles Sandfer. And others are piling in. We also had a car on pit road in T Wright. I should document that in the 28. William Brock's got damage now. Jordan Lopez, pole sitter Vince Almariego, Austin Kolano. And I think there are some others as well that we may find out when we go back and look at the replay. There's Qualls and Wright. I'm pretty certain those might have been the two that got together up in 1 and 2, but it didn't bring out the caution. Last week's winner, Mills, is done. Last year's winner, Gardner, done. Sandfer smoking. He's probably done. And LaPlante took back the lead after the issue with J Qualls, and I wonder if maybe Qualls had an issue trying to maybe get around T Wright and put him a lap down. Everybody's on pit road here with our first yellow flag. We got 2 incidents to look at here. One did not bring out the caution. The other one certainly did for our first yellow flag of the day. This did not bring out the caution. This was back around the 34th position, Phil Parker and T Wright. 74, it's hard to tell if Trey kind of came down and blocked Phil or if Phil just got into him. But there you see Adam Garcia hard up into the wall as well. Now, I'm surprised this didn't bring out a yellow. I understand this was towards the rear of the field. There was no oncoming traffic at the time. But then you're going to see how J Qualls gets involved here. T Wright's car comes down onto the transition of the apron and the banking of turn 2. If you watch down the bottom left of your screen, still no caution, so Qualls is still in the throttle. And you're going to see him come into view in a moment as the 28 still has not teleported back to pit road. Let's see, where is Qualls at? Okay, Qualls is still in turn 1. I'm certain his spotter has told him what's happened and that there is no yellow. There you see the smoke lingering, so even then Qualls should know that something's going on, and he continues to run the bottom, and just before the 28 teleports to pit road, Qualls hits him. It rips the whole left front off of his Monster Energy Toyota. That's what brings him to pit road and actually has taken him out of this race. Now let's go and see what happens to bring out the actual yellow in it. And we're going to jump here to the 14 of J Gardner because I believe it starts with him. Okay, they're 3 wide coming off of turn 4 here. It's Ryan Acosta on the bottom, Cole Deaver up top, Gardner in the middle. And it's going to be teammates that get together. Ryan Acosta pushes up the track a little bit, gets Gardner in the left front, or left rear rather. And then Acosta gets clipped again, put up into Charles Sandfer, who then gets Carson Gum squeezed up into the wall. And then I think everybody's going to hit the 0-3. First one's going to take the shot is going to be, I think it's probably going to be Jose Mills. There's Almariego, nowhere to go. Macklin gets a piece of it there. He gets hit from behind by Lopez, who then gets jacked up by Brock, who then gets jacked up by Kolano. Patrick Smith, I think, is going to get through. Batson and Mathews as well. I don't think anyone hit Gardner. I think Gardner just was smoking because of the hit into the inside wall. Yeah, watch right here as he ducks the car down to the inside. It slides, but I don't think anybody hit him. I think it was Sandfer that everyone was piling into. Boy, look at some of these guys here sliding. Belding, Batson, Patrick Smith, Phil Parker taking evasive maneuvers to slow their race cars down. And that's what brings out the caution for the first time here today at Dover. One wreck that didn't bring out the caution and a second one that certainly did. And we're only 10 laps in, and we're going to have quite a number of drivers, I think, in the garage area. Well, 37 team gets it done on pit road. Carter Friesen came off pit lane the leader over Ryan Brommer, Nathan Ormond, then Austin LaPlante dropped 3 spots from the lead back to 4th. Jessica Shelton completes top 5. Carson Gunn we saw get squeezed up into the wall, but apparently that didn't affect him much, so he's going to restart in 6th. Dylan Young 7th. Benny Watson in 8th, 9th, Levi McIntyre, and completing your top 10 for this restart will be Jack Mitchell. Drivers that will not make it back to the green include William Brock, Austin Kolano, last year's winner J Gardner, Charles Sandfer, last week's winner Jose Mills, as well as J Qualls and Adam Garcia. There you see the 28 of T Wright. He is 4 laps down, but he will at least continue on and try at least to finish up in the 32nd position. Green flag back in the air on lap 15. One driver this takes a little bit of pressure off of is Benny Watson with William Brock out of the race. Watson had a 13-point lead over Brock coming into this one, but still, as we've documented all season long, it's really all about wins to make it into the playoffs. We've had 15 races so far this season, and yes, only 10 of those 15 winners are up inside the top 30 in points right now, leaving 6 spots open, but there's still a long ways to go in this season as well. We've still got 11 races, including today's, before we even get to the playoffs. Well, Nathan Ormond took the checkered flag at a smaller concrete track, Bristol International Speedway, and right now he is on the back bumper of Carter Friesen, looking for the race lead. His teammate J Qualls looked like he was going to maybe be a contender for the win, but getting involved in contact with a car that was towards the rear of the field and down on the apron. Tough break there for Qualls, but Ormond trying to remedy the fact and still get a Joanna Atwood Motorsports car to victory lane. He now gets moved out of the way. LaPlante will move up to 2nd. Now he ducks low and looks for the lead on Carter Friesen, trying to gain those spots. His pit crew lost him on that last round of pit stops. Dylan Young, 2-time winner, back up here at the front now. Looking to be a 3-time winner, as I believe a car just made a pit stop unscheduled, and I think that was the 57 of Matthew Rodriguez. Yes, it was. He just left pit lane. The 22 of Mitchell Collins is also towards the back. I think he might have also been on pit road since we've been back green. LaPlante with a rear deck lid full of Nathan Ormond as we are nearing a third of the way through this race. Got some other guys up here towards the front. Jessica Shelton there in the 0-2, 34th in points. Trying to get S3 Motorsports their 2nd win of the season. So far they've only got 1 with Charles Sandfer at ISM. And of course Sanford's outside the top 30 in the points as well coming into this race, and with him out of the event, he will not be working his way back into the top 30 in the points, at least here at Dover, as Ormond now goes to the top spot. You got Levi McIntire back there, who won the longest race of the season at Charlotte 2 weeks ago. He's up here inside the top 5 now. And the guy who won before he did, the week before he did, well, the points paying race before he did, Cody Llamas, up here now taking the 5th position away from Levi McIntire. Drop a little bit further back, and you got guys like Jesse Turner, Ryan Acosta, Nathan Hudson all still in this mix. Remember, Ryan Acosta was actually the one that caused the caution to come out when he turned his teammate J Gardner, and he actually has some right side damage there as well after Gardner came back up into him, and I think it was he bounced up into Sandfer. They did not elect to repair that damage on pit road, so we'll see just how strong that 10 machine is. So 4 drivers came into this race outside the top 30 in the points that had wins. Sandfer, we've already documented what's happened to him. Ormond was another one, 33rd in points coming to this, and he was 6 points behind the cut line. Being out in front, he's got himself a lap-led bonus point, but he's trying to at least, if not win, have a decent enough finish to get back into the top 30 in the standings, as Dylan Young to his inside for the race lead. Charles Sanford's out of the race, so what about Jacob Thibodeaux and Carson Gum? We saw Carson Gum starting up near the front, but he's faded back. There he is. Actually, there the both of them are. Gum and Thibodeaux right now running in the 18th and 19th positions respectively. Benny Watson just ahead of them in 17th. Next driver he would have to worry about for the points lead would be Jack Mitchell. Mitchell was 14 points back, 3rd in the standings coming into this one, but right now he's running behind the 75 on track. Dylan Young and Cody Llamas, a couple of Floridians, going to battle it out for the race lead now. Dylan Young already a 2-time winner this season. Cody Llamas was a 2-time winner last year when he won back-to-back races at Pocono and Richmond. He's got a win this season at Fuel Motorsports Park, finishing off the first half of the regular season. He now takes the lead as he's looking to join Dylan Young as a 2-time winner. How about the 08 of Cole Deaver? Deaver 9th in the points coming to this one. He's the rookie in S3 Motorsports, but the highest in the standings of those 4 drivers. The next highest is Kyle Mathews back in 24th in the standings. It's been a great rookie season for Deaver as he's actually starting to close in the gap between himself and Patrick Smith for that rookie points lead as well. A few weeks ago, it was upwards to about 10 points separating himself and Smith. It's now 5 points coming into this race, and Smith in the 77 does not appear at the front. I don't know if he really got a piece of the wreck that we saw over in turn 1 or not, but I know he at least got slowed down and lost a lot of positions. Let's see where he's actually at right now. There he is right now in the 24th position. He just got around Keith Batson for the spot. We've gotten ourselves into a bit of a long green flag run here, so I'd wonder about some of these slower machines. Pole sitter Vince Almariego still running, but with no hood. Jordan Lopez hoodless. Mitchell Collins back here, and of course T Wright, who is multiple laps down, but he has been able to work his way up to 33rd in the running order, passing all the cars that were ahead of him that DNF'd from that wreck over in turn 1. They are on the back straightaway. The leaders are coming out of turn 2, so they will be caught momentarily and could be a very big factor in this second half of the race. Who is going to take the checkered flag and who is not? Could also lead us to maybe another yellow as Dylan Young to the inside on Cody Llamas for the lead. A couple of rookies behind them in 3rd and 4th, Ormond and Deaver. And as these guys race side by side, that allows Nathan Ormond, Cole Deaver, Austin LaPlante to close up on them. Another driver has popped up here into the top 10. How about the 21 of Marcus Saatchi? He's now in the 8th position, trying to get by Shelton for 7th. Good run here today for the 21 as he has picked up a number of spots since the restart. And it's going to be Cody Llamas that's going to try and have to get around T Wright. Which lane does he take? Well, he tried going to the outside. T Wright blocked him. That opens the bottom for Dylan Young. Now Dylan Young's boxed in on the bottom. Cody around the outside is going to keep the lead. And still Dylan Young trying to get around the 28. Finally will do so. Trying to think. The 38 and the 28 are teammates to the 99. That's the only driver right now that they could be trying to play defense for and try and help pick up spots. Next car that Cody Llamas encounters is the 22 of Mitchell Collins. That's a teammate to second place running Dylan Young. Well, T Wright and Jordan Lopez helped move Levi McIntyre up to 4th. So they might have been doing some blocking for their teammate, as now McIntyre is going to look for 3rd on Nathan Ormond. And Llamas going to try and drive it in deep into 3. Couldn't get to the inside of Collins. It's going to bring Dylan Young back up into the battle for this race lead, potentially. Cody finally ducks to the inside here in turn 1. He'll clear the 22. No fight put up there by Collins against Dylan Young as Dylan Young begins to reel Cody back in. Next car they would have to deal with would be V Almariego. He's about maybe half a straightaway ahead of these drivers, and no alliances there. None of the backmarker motorsports cars are up here at the front. As it's single file with Llamas, Young, McIntyre, Ormond, Shelton, Hudson. Marcus Saatchi moves into 7th as Jesse Turner gets held up for the moment behind the 22. Now he's under fire from J Deaver for the 8th position. Then up in this pack still, you've got Carter Friesen, Ryan Butcher, Ryan Acosta, Zach Rogers, and Ryan Brommer. All still potentially with a shot at this victory, depending on what happens here in these final 21 laps. Now all these drivers came to pit road back under the caution. So I don't necessarily know what the fuel window is, if these drivers are good to go the rest of the way or not. Something would say to me yes, because it's only a mile racetrack. And we went back green with, I think it was about maybe what, 47 laps to go, something in that range. Don't know. It'll be close. Dylan Young could not make the pass there on Cody Llamas. He moved him up the track, but Cody got a good bite there off of the corner on the top side to hold on to the race lead. So maybe now with the tires wearing down, we're starting to see that top line come in and start to counter the inside line as Cody's going to catch V Almariego out of turn 4. He'll get to the inside of him here. I was wondering if the 42 was going to be courteous and get out of the way. V Almariego, who started this race from the pole, now finds himself a lap down with less than 20 to go here at Dover. Going to be more traffic to maybe deal with up ahead. A couple of rookies there, Aaron Macklin and Phil Parker, right now running in 27th and 28th. Last cars on the lead lap. Marcus Saatchi continuing to charge to the front. He's going to take the 4th position away, maybe, from N Ormond. Not quite clear on him yet, as they got a battle behind them. N Hudson and Levi McIntire, they're battling for 6th. Saatchi has to give up the spot to N Ormond. So yeah, that top side has found some grip now, especially off of turn 4. And now Dylan Young looks back in his rearview mirror and sees Boxy looming large. Jessica Shelton, 3rd position, now right there with the top 2. They've caught Aaron Macklin. They're going to try and duck to his inside. Next car would be Phil Parker, and then they've got Keith Batson and Patrick Smith not that far ahead. They could come into play before this race is over. Cody just trying to do his best to not mess up on making moves on these slower machines that he's putting now off the lead lap. There you see up ahead, more traffic that they're going to probably catch before this race is over. Smith, Batson, Kyle Mathews, maybe even Michael Norman and Charles Belding. But the hard charger right now is Marcus Saatchi. I think he's got the fastest car on the track, or at least the best car in traffic on the long run. And he's still got 13 laps to work with as Cody hits the line. Dylan Young looks to the bottom in turn 1. Can he make it stick, or will Cody get the run off the corner? As they close in on the 77 of Patrick Smith, Cody clears on the top side, now tried to drive it to the bottom on the 77, couldn't do it. Could not get the position on him here. He'll now duck to the inside going into turn 1. Saatchi now leaves Shelton out to dry. He's going to go for 3rd. Shelton probably will have no choice but to give him the spot as she's held up behind the 77 of Patrick Smith. And now Saatchi's going to go for second. Llamas now having to deal with Keith Batson ahead of him. The battle is on behind him for second place. Saatchi kind of boxed Dylan Young up to the top side. He will take the second spot, and now as they go to the inside of K Mathews, Saatchi is on Llamas' back bumper for the lead. It's now turned into a four-car battle. The Toyota of Llamas, the Chevys of Saatchi and Shelton, the Ford of Dylan Young, Marcus Saatchi to the inside of Llamas for the lead. Michael Norman, a teammate to the 84 ahead. What does Michael do? He gets trapped to the top side. That boxes his teammate up there. Llamas is going to lose second to Dylan Young, third to Jessica Shelton, it looks like. Caution is out. Belding will stay on the lead lap. A very timely yellow for him, but Marcus Saatchi just took the lead. The caution is out. We're going to have a shootout to finish this race with less than 10 to go. And what brought out the yellow? I'm looking through the field. I don't see any car with any additional damage. Oh, it was Ryan Brommer, our Texas winner. Ryan Brommer in the 9 brings out our latest yellow flag with less than 10 laps remaining. Let's go back and see what happened to the Pepsi Dodge. Battling for just outside the top 10 around the 12th, 13th position. 3-wide situation as they were trying to get around the slower lap machine of Phil Parker. Ryan Brommer on the inside. Looks like he may push up just a bit into Ryan Butcher. The two of them hook. And Brommer's going to get spun around to the inside wall. Carter Friesen's going to gain a spot or two because of that. And the 9 being on pit lane says to me that car must have gotten stuck. And yep, right there you can see how the front tires are up on the banking. The rear tire, actually the right or the left rear is off the ground. So he can't even get that car turned back around. And that's why they had to throw the yellow, so we didn't have the same situation happen here that happened earlier when J Qualls hit Trey Wright, who was stuck down on the transition of the banking and the racetrack. So that's what brings out the yellow late and sets us up for a doozy of a shootout at Dover. So the green flag will come back out. 33 cars still running, 21 of them on the lead lap. Belding the last of those, getting just to the line ahead of leader Marcus Saatchi when that caution came out. Marcus Saatchi only has one win to his career credit. That was last year at the road course of Lime Rock. Looking for his second here today. He's going to try and hold off two-time winner Dylan Young. And with it being less than 10 to go, all the lap cars intermingle with the lead lap cars. So you got the lap car of Michael Norman, then third place Jessica Shelton, fourth place Cody Llamas, then lap machines here before you get to fifth place Levi McIntyre, sixth Nathan Ormond, seventh Austin LaPlante, eighth Jesse Turner, ninth Nathan Hudson, and 10th Cole Deaver. So right now, depending on if Shelton and Llamas can get around Norman, it's basically going to be a mono-e-mono between Saatchi and Dylan Young in what will be a 5-lap shootout to finish out today's race at Dover. So Marcus Saatchi going to have to make his car high, wide, and handsome. He's had the strongest car really all day, has been able to work his way through the field up to the lead. Yes, he's had the aid of slower traffic, but that car's got a lot of power under the hood. Question is now, being out in front, has he got the car to hold off everyone else behind him? Dylan Young's a two-time winner. He's 10th in the points. He's got nothing to lose. He's looking for a third win on the season. For Marcus Saatchi, who comes into this race currently 27th in points, it could mean a playoff spot. Green flag in the air. 5 laps to go here at Dover. Shelton and Llamas not wasting any time. They're going to get around the 18 of Norman and keep themselves in the hunt for this win. Saatchi's going to drive away. He's opened up about 2, maybe 3 car lengths between himself and Dylan Young. Young trying to close it back up. Shelton and Llamas about 2 car lengths back themselves. Caution out again! with 4 to go. Do we get a one-lap shootout, or does this end the race? Oh, boy. I don't know. We might be right within the realm of a one-lap shootout, which may be very difficult for Dylan Young, Shelton, or Llamas to be able to make a move on Marcus Saatchi. They probably needed all 5 of these laps. Looks like the wreck was up into turn 3. And it may have involved rookie N Ormond. Jordan Lopez, Vince Almariego on pit road as well. And some other front runners are towards the back here. Jesse Turner, Cole Deaver, as well as Ryan Acosta. They may have either gotten slowed up or been involved themselves. Caution is out for the 3rd time today. Is it our final yellow? Does the race end under the caution, or do we get back green? We'll find out in a moment. Let's go back and take a look at what brought out this yellow flag. I have a feeling it could be the last yellow flag of the day. This race may be over. See if we can figure out what happened here. Looks like they may have almost gotten into a 4-wide situation. Oh, no. Ormond tried to get to the inside of Patrick Smith, who was holding him up. Deaver had a full head of steam going into turn 3, never lifted, and kind of ran N Ormond over. Jesse Turner gets collected up in this as well, and everyone, I think, gets through here. But then why did the 10 lose so many positions? Did he get spun later on? Oh, there it is, right there. Carson Gum and Matthew Rodriguez make some contact. And then Rodriguez comes off the wall, and he gets into Ryan Acosta, spinning him around on the front straightaway. So that's why Ryan Acosta was so far back, but he was not involved in the initial caution that had Deaver, Ormond, and Jesse Turner. So, this race may be over. It may not be. But when I saw the pace car duck onto the pit lane again there for another pace lap, I think that we're probably going to be having this race end under yellow. We'll go back and find out. See if Marcus Saatchi may be picking up career win number 2 and first of the season. Well, this is going to be the telltale sign. Pretty certain with the lights on coming to the white flag, this race is going to end under yellow. And so Marcus Saatchi, not saying that he wouldn't have held Dylan Young off, because it looked like he had a really good restart there, and I'm not certain Dylan Young would have had anything to be able to get to him. But Marcus Saatchi looks like he is going to be taking this checkered flag under the yellow. One driver is missing, and that's the 0-2 of Jessica Shelton, who's back here. Apparently they did not get that car full of fuel, and she was going to run out here under pacing. She had to come to pit road, and Shelton, who would have been in line to finish, I believe, in the 3rd position, is going to actually finish back in 19th now. So a tough break there for Shelton. I believe Charles Belding also was close on fuel and had to make a pit stop here under pacing. And he would have finished, I think, somewhere up around the 15th position had he not had to come to pit road. We got another car, I think, out of fuel. We do. We got several cars out of fuel here on the white flag lap. McIntyre, Thibodeaux, and Mitchell. They can't make it on fuel. They're out of fuel. Is any of our front runners going to have this issue? Oh, my goodness. On the final lap, 3 drivers on the apron out of fuel. McIntyre, Thibodeaux, and Mitchell. Hudson's out of fuel. He's got to come to pit road. There's some others as well. Zach Rogers, Carter Friesen. They're trying to coast it on pit road to make it to the line. Top 5, though, here look like they're going to make it. Saatchi's going to crawl across the line and win at Dover. Llamas is now out of fuel. He crossed in 3rd behind Dylan Young. LaPlante's going to get 4th. Who gets 5th? Is it going to be Hudson? I think he's going to just barely be able to make it across the line. He gets 5th. Butcher, I think, is going to get 6th. Gum might get 7th. Or did they call the standings official now? Now they're all wrecking. I think they called the standings official after the 24 crossed the line. So McIntyre, Rogers, Mitchell, Thibodeaux, those guys dodged a bullet. To be perfectly honest, I don't think they should have called the standings official until everyone that was able to cross the finish line had crossed the finish line. I think that Gum and Butcher should have finished up there a little bit higher, since they actually crossed the line on the track. But unfortunately, it is the way it is with where the NSCRA officials decide to call the race official. I think Butcher should have finished up in 6th. I think Gum should have finished up in 7th. But it is what it is. Wow. I thought we were done with surprises there, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be cut and dry. Mark Saatchi winning, but a lot of drivers with fuel issues in the closing stages. But Mark Saatchi with the victory. Saatchi, who came into this race 27th in points. He was only 6 points ahead of 30th in the standings cut line. This is huge for him, as he may have locked himself up a playoff spot now. Remember, last year his win at Lime Rock was during the playoffs, so he was not eligible to make it into the postseason. Now he is. Dylan Young going to finish in 2nd, Llamas in 3rd. LaPlante, who started outside of the front row, had a strong car all day. He'll finish 4th. And Nathan Hudson's going to get Rookie of the Race. He'll finish in 5th. Then McIntire, Rogers, Mitchell, Thibodeaux, and Butcher complete your top 10. Really the only driver coming into this race, well, maybe 2 drivers coming into this race that were outside the top 30 in points that got decent finishes today, were Thibodeaux and Gum. Thibodeaux gets 9th, Gum gets 11th. Sandfer finished out of the race. Ormond, of course, got involved in that wreck, bringing out our last caution of the day. He finished in 20th. You look on down through the remainder of the finishing results there. You've got Carson Gum in 11th, Friesen in 12th. Watson will finish the day out in 13th. So I think he still will keep the points lead going into next week's race. And then it was Matt Haas, Cole Baker, the rest of your top 15. Ryan Acosta, Turner, Deaver, Shelton, Ormond, your top 20. And I believe the last car to finish on the lead lap in 21st was Charles Belding. A lot of drivers got put a lap down when we went into that long green flag run between our first and second cautions. The last of the cars to finish the race was T Wright, 6 laps down in 33rd. And then drivers out of the race, a majority of them, actually I believe all of them, after our first caution: William Brock, Austin Kolano, J Gardner, Charles Sandfer, Jose Mills, James Qualls from the lead, and Adam Garcia. That is going to do it here from the Monster Mile, no doubt about it. Miles was hungry, and he certainly gave us a very interesting finish there as well, with Marcus Saatchi picking up the checkered flag. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finishing results, and these are your point standings heading into next week. I have the schedule up in front of me, but it doesn't go down far enough for me to be able to see where the next race is. I've only got it down as far as Dover, so unfortunately right now I can't tell you what next week's race is, but we will see you there when we get there nonetheless. So Marcus Saatchi celebrates his win here today. We will see you guys next week as you've been watching Production NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.